Namaste, dear one. Lisa A. Romano, the ACOA life coach, coming to you today to talk about some stuff that a lot of people don't like talking about. That's right. Here on my channel, we get to say it like it is. So please keep your questions coming. I enjoy them, and I think it's the most honorable thing that we can do is honor how we feel, because as children we weren't allowed to feel what we felt. So we have disassociated, disconnected, and are adults that are running our lives on this crazy ass dysfunctional programming that we learned as children, and we're not even aware of it. So what I want to address today is something that one of my clients brought to my attention and really drove it home for me. And she said to me, Lisa, I think one of the most painful things that anyone has ever said to me was, get over it. And I agreed with her. And having had my own pain as a child and having to stuff it and pretend that I didn't feel what I felt and to understand that it was my job to make daddy think everything was just fine. I don't think that my parents understood that their control issues were affecting me the way they were, and my brother and sister. They were not aware of it. They're not terrible, vicious, evil people. They're just unaware and unrecovered. Having said that, when I got older and I began saying, hey, Dad, I really didn't like when you said that. Or, Mom, I don't think that was the best way to handle this. There were so many times I heard, get over it. Especially, believe it or not, from my siblings. So primarily my brother, who was like, get over it. Mommy and Daddy weren't that bad. And, so whatever. People have their own perceptions about what happened in their homes. We always do. And birth order has something to do with that. I believe our astrological signs have something to do with that. I was the oldest. I remember the most. I think that my mother and I clashed. Or my mother clashed with me because of a lot of her unresolved stuff. That's my opinion. I'm a female, he's a male, whatever. But I want to address this, get over it. A couple of things that I want to suggest to you, and I want you to think about. It's interesting when people say get over it, because when someone says get over it, it is presumed I know what it is they're talking about. So if I told you get over it, I have to presume that you own something and that you can throw it away. You see, you can't throw out a sack of potatoes you don't own. You can't throw out a sack of potatoes you can't see. You can't throw out a sack of potatoes you can't even feel. You can't grasp the context of it. You can't wrap your fingers around it. And so when people tell us to get over it, what they don't understand is the it that they want us to get over, we have been invalidated of. We have been taught that we don't have the right to even have the wounded experience. So when someone says to you, get over it, that means they don't hear you, dear one. They don't hear you. They don't understand your pain, or they don't want to. And that's the truth. And okay, that could be a truth. Let's accept it. Let's feel it. Wow, that sucks. I have a friend who doesn't quite understand me. Well, what do I want to do about that? Well, I think I'm going to stop talking to her about this because she doesn't get it. And that's where your recovery work comes into place. That's where you take responsibility about how you feel. You have wounds that are entirely unique, and they need to be validated by you. And also, hopefully, a life coach or someone, in the mental health field that you learn to trust and know that you can share your innermost sacred wounds with. And if you are in therapy with a therapist who you don't think gets you, then get out. Get out. You really need to work with someone who understands the ACOA stuff and who isn't minimizing you. I mean, I have clients who have come to me and said, my therapist yelled at me, or my therapist told me I should just get over it. And I think that's horrible. And I don't think all therapists are like that at all. I worked with one that I thought was amazing and really drove home a lot of points for me. But having said that, if you're speaking to someone who's telling you to get over it, dear one, you need a boundary. You need an internal boundary. That's a signal that this is someone who doesn't want to hear about this part of your life. And that's okay. That's okay. Part of our issue is that we need to feel validated by others. Okay? But keep thinking, dear one. Keep rising above that thought. Rise above. Break free of that pattern. That's an old pattern. Mom and dad taught us, brainwashed us to worry more about what other people thought about us than we thought about ourselves, dear one. Okay? So we have to break free of that pattern. We have to honor our perceptions and our standpoints and our points of view. So if you're talking to someone and they come back with you, just get over it. Red flag, ding, 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 ding. We need a boundary. We need an internal boundary that says, okay, no longer will I talk to her about this, because when I do, she invalidates me and tries to shut me down. And so that's a signal. So you have to pull back from that person. And externally, if this is someone who repeatedly puts up walls and repeatedly tries to minimize you and try to get you to stuffs you in a box, there might be a relationship that needs to be reprioritized or reevaluated, and then we need to exert external boundaries. So that's all I want to leave you with today. And but just I'm hoping that what you take away is that anyone who tells you to get over it doesn't get you, and that's okay. That's okay. I get you. I get you. And the millions of other ACOAs out there in this world, literally globally get you. They understand what it feels like to be minimized and invalidated. And they understand what it feels like to be so wounded that you're begging people to see you, begging people to understand you, begging people to validate you and give you permission to feel what you feel. Dear one, dear one, dear one, feel what you feel. Honor it and hold on to it. Hold it dear and near to your heart. And if nobody wants to hear it, then write about it. Write about it. Write to me about it. Find a therapist who will allow you to express it, dear one, because it is valid. It is valid. Namaste. Namaste. Again, my name is Lisa A. Romano. I am a life coach for adult children of alcoholics and a best-selling author. Please visit my website at www.healingselfesteem.com. I love you. We are one. Namaste again. Bye-bye.